Hey guys, welcome back to Season 1, Episode 8 of Spacemen and Other Phenomenon. I am joined here with Steven.
Hello.
And Macy, but she doesn't want to be on camera, so she's off to the side. But you might hear her like burp or fart or whatever, so.
What girls do.
Yeah. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about cattle mutilations from 1964 to 1975.
That's the only time they ever happened.
Just a video full of misinformation. We're just gonna. I'm just gonna read a little bit about some different instances of this, mostly around the American Southwest. And Steven is going to commentate, and kind of give a more what's the word I'm looking for? Pessimistic view, contrarian view, maybe.
Not inherently. We'll see.
We'll see. Anyway, I just want to acknowledge the source, UFO and the National Security State, the cover-up exposed 1973 through 1991 by Richard M. Dolan. It was a gift from a good friend of mine named Connor. Thank you for the book, Connor. I really appreciate it. It's really awesome. It's like a desk reference of a ton of awesome alien stuff. I'll leave a link in the description, so if you want to pick up a copy for yourself, you can. This one's titled Helicopters and Mutilations in the American West. So, 4 themes dominate the second half of 1975. Cattle mutilations, black helicopters, abduction cases, and violations of U.S. military airspace by UFOs. There was a good deal of overlap and apparent interrelationships among these phenomena. Now, Stephen, I know you know a little bit about cattle mutilations, black helicopters, aliens, abductions, shit like that. This is not your first rodeo.
No, I have done the YouTube dive, I suppose, and the Discovery Channel documentaries.
I fucking love Ancient Aliens. I mean, this is way past Ancient Aliens stuff.
Yeah, that's good too. I like that as well.
Okay, so mutilations of many types of animals, not just cattle, have been noted throughout much of the U.S. and Canada since 1967, although the phenomenon spiked sharply at the end of 1974 through 1975.
So to my understanding with this, they were all decently far away from each other, correct? Or
some of them were on the same farm, but some of them were hundreds of miles apart from each other and seemingly in unrelated ways. So
were they done the same way? Or were the mutilations the same? Or were...
There's a lot of common themes, okay. And in some of them, there's a couple of weird one-off facts or things that were done to the animals that
differently than
exactly. You'll see it's pretty strange stuff. Usually, an animal would be found dead, laying on its side with no predator tracks anywhere and no sign of struggle. An ear would be missing, one ear, which I thought was weird, along with a circle of flesh around the eyeball and eye. So they don't really go into a lot of detail about what that means. So it's not just the eye, like the eyeball that's missing. The whole, cavity has been, surgically removed.
Okay.
Of usually just one of the eyes, sometimes both.
It was, surgical? It seemed very...
It wasn't like an animal had ripped it out.
So they didn't just do it with a knife.
Yeah, it was somebody who would have had some skill.
Or they had to have known what they were doing to a degree. It wasn't an accident to take that out.
No, it wasn't some, hillbillies.
The anatomy to okay.
Much of the flesh covering the jaw would also be completely gone, leaving the bone exposed, and occasionally the teeth and jawbone itself were neatly removed. So it is a fact that oftentimes animals will eat the mouth parts and face parts of other animals, like a wolf may eat the face parts and mouth parts of a cow, because they're softer and they're easier to access than getting through the tough hide that they have everywhere else. But the fact that the jaw skin and jaw itself was neatly removed. Animals rip and tear and bite and shred. They don't neatly remove something.
Well, they leave a mark.
And like I said earlier, there was no tracks coming up to it either. So pretty strange.
Probably between humans or the extraterrestrial.
That's what we're trying to figure out here.
Or ghosts.
I never thought about ghosts. I had not even considered that maybe it were ghosts killing cattle. In most cases, the tongue was smoothly cut from deep within the throat, and a few necropsies confirm the removal of the larynx and trachea, which are throat parts.
Yeah.
We know that, but if people are watching, they might not know what a trachea or a larynx are. But, which is another really strange thing, because you could see where an animal might, grab the tongue and pull it out, but that would just rip the tongue. It wouldn't be able to remove the larynx and the trachea with it.
It's removed from the mouth?
From the throat and from the mouth.
Oh, that's what I mean.
Yeah. It's removed through the mouth.
Through the mouth from the throat, though. Yeah, okay, yeah. I don't think an animal would...
Let me give you a little bit more. This is the fun part. The genitals were usually cut cleanly away, leaving a flat oval shape. In nearly all cases, rectal tissue would be removed in a hole around 4 inches wide and 6 to 14 inches deep.
What do you think an alien would do with that?
I don't know. I'm just imagining like an alien, like a disgruntled alien who didn't want to have to do this, is cutting like ears and nose and penises off of bowls, and he's like,
got the asshole out.
Let me give you a little bit more. Law enforcement officers were also puzzled by massive loss of blood, and yet no obvious place where the blood could have gone. In some cases, the bodies were completely drained of blood, so during the autopsies or necropsies, the animal wouldn't even bleed. They would cut it open, no blood would come out, because so much of it was missing.
So vampires.
Vampire? Yep. We're changing it. It's not spacemen and other phenomena. It's going to be vampires and other phenomena.
Ghosts.
Vampires and ghosts.
Yeah.
So before we move on too much, what are your thoughts on this? Like, this is nuts, right?
So I'm not completely convinced that aliens exist and that aliens are the ones who did this. But it is intriguing, and why would somebody do it, and what is the point, and what would, a human gain? What would anybody
What's the motive
gain?
here?
Even, and that's also the interesting thought, if aliens are real, and aliens are the ones doing it, like, why?
What do they have to gain?
Yeah, what is there to gain?
Because, if you think about...
mutilating a cow and then just...
Because they're leaving the most valuable parts.
Yeah,
they're leaving the meat and the flesh that the leather,
the mouth, throat, and asshole.
Yeah,
like what are they doing with all that? And genitals.
Yeah, they're definitely taking the genitals.
Yeah.
So ranchers and law enforcement officials would often see predators such as coyotes, wolves, and bears approach a mutilated animal, only to stop several feet away and circle the carcass, as if an invisible barrier were present. I've always subscribed to the fact that animals have more senses than we do, and they can sense when shit is off quicker than we can.
Hell, you don't even have to subscribe to it. It's a fact
that
animals are more in tune. But, for an animal to leave a corpse alone is an odd scenario in any sense.
So, coyotes are absolutely opportunistic scavengers, and it would take quite a bit of something to be off to dissuade them, especially bears as well. Wolves hunt a little bit more than coyotes and bears do.
Coyotes are scavengers, and for them to let a corpse go,
very strange.
Yeah.
Very strange. I wonder if it has something to do with radiation. I think they do mention radiation here. Let's see where this goes.
Go further.
Most dramatically, some necropsies confirmed an absence of heart tissue, and yet no evidence of cuts or tears of the clear membrane that surround a cow's heart. So, post-mortem, they cut these cows open, heart's gone, but the membrane that surrounds the heart is still intact and unaltered. So that confuses the fuck out of me, because I have no idea how you could do that.
I was going to say, are you aware of anybody attempting to recreate or go about that themselves to see if it's possible?
I'm not aware of anything like that, but it would be an interesting read to see if there was scientists that tried to emulate this.
I assume somebody had to try to find an answer to that.
Yeah. I don't know. It's so strange. How could you remove a heart without the tissue surrounding it? That's I don't know. I have no fucking clue.
Ghosts. Probably.
It was They can reach right in, grab the heart.
Ghosts. Yeah.
They can turn the heart into a ghost heart, and then pull it out
of the body.
I think we figured it out. Richard Nolan, we figured it out, buddy.
You Richard Nolan, you idiot.
Okay. Some veterinarians who studied these animals marveled, and the braver ones said that the work was done with instruments not available to them. So veterinarians even admitted this is not something that we could do.
Okay.
We don't have the instruments to perform something like this. We'll move on.
Yeah, not something your average Joe should be able to have access to then.
Yeah, she said no one does. She's saying that not even veterinarians have these kind of tools to remove a heart without...
Well, I mean, yeah, like maybe there's certain human doctors who might have some wild stuff. But,
who knows? The government might have, like, anti-heart guns. They just shoot you with it, your heart's gone.
I mean, and maybe that's... maybe it's, like, government testing, potentially, too. Just to throw out ideas that aren't just aliens came down and did it. Potentially, this is, like, all really weird... government testing, and that hence why it's kind of all over the place and all a little different, was them testing out potential future medical instruments, or who knows what it's for. Who knows?
We have to be careful. I'm not convinced Macy's not part of the CIA.
I've seen her wear a black suit and black.
She talks into her jacket a lot, like she's like.
She said,
have you seen her do that?
Yeah, I saw it. She said they're figuring out that it's ghosts.
Guys, I gotta go.
Okay. In her investigation of animal mutilation tissue with John Elsthuler, MD, pathologist and hematologist in Denver, Colorado, television producer and investigative journalist Linda Moulton Howe was able to confirm that excision in several mutilated animals were cut with high heat.
It's like a laser.
Like a laser.
Yeah.
Or a ghost laser.
So back to what I was saying, I mean, our government does have, like, laser technology, and it's limited, but...
You know what I just found out is that using lasers to blind enemies in combat is illegal from the Geneva Convention.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
You're not allowed to use, like...
mustard gas.
Yeah, like toxins and poison, essentially.
Yeah. I did not know that. I thought, like, that's going to be my plan of attack.
No, they have like certain knives that are like so nasty you're not allowed to use, like those like star knives that spin down, because there's no healing. Like even with the medical attention, there's no healing.
I'd like to read the Geneva Convention.
It's super interesting. You should check it out sometime.
I think I will. Okay. All Earth creatures are carbon-based life forms. If the cutting instruments were a laser or other form of electrical cautery, there would be black pepper grain evidence of carbon at the excision. Alsthuler told Howe, I know we're looking at tissue exposed to heat that has cauterized, but I don't know what the cutting instrument is because lasers would leave carbon residue, yet there is none.
It sounds to me like they probably like took like a kitchen knife and like lit it up with a blowtorch.
Red hot cutting Lego videos and stuff.
And it's like
it makes sense. I never even
or like
wait a minute.
Glass. They cut a cow with it.
What if this whole time it's just been YouTubers
from back before YouTube was around?
E-bombs worlders,
our predecessors.
A number of mutilation cases were accompanied by reports of UFOs, strange helicopters, possible landing traces, and burned treetops. The burned treetops,
fireworks.
A researcher named Tom Adams was the first to track not only the cases of mutilation, but also the mysterious helicopter phenomenon. During the spring and summer of 1975, he recorded more than 200 cases of helicopters near or at mutilation sites. So I'm pretty sure helicopters are like a human thing.
Yes.
I mean...
well... Let's not be speciesist here. Like, if an alien wanted to fly a helicopter...
I guess, yeah, they could.
They probably could.
Which, this makes me... And this kind of goes back to what you were saying, where maybe this is government.
Well, and to be play devil's advocate even to what is closer to what I believe, because I by far think it's more likely that humans, the government, have more to do with this than aliens or ghosts or vampires. And with that, but against that, if it's not us and it is either aliens or ghosts or vampires, the helicopter and government attention is interesting as well there. The fact that the helicopters are there, I think it can actually help and benefit either theory.
Because maybe they're investigating why are the aliens doing this. Maybe they don't know either.
At that point in time.
Yeah. Okay, let me give you more. These events seem to have kicked off the new wave of mutilations occurring in December 1974, when a heifer was found inside a perfect circle of melted snow in Kimball, Minnesota. So this is quite a removal from where we've been. Okay. We were talking about the American Southwest, and this is up in the Midwest, up in Minnesota. The animal's eye, left ear, tongue, and part of its lips were removed. No footprints, tracks, or blood were found. Matters became really strange when a pilot and photographer flew over the area. A quarter-mile south of the mutilation site, they saw dozens of circles in random patterns spread over several acres. So several melted snow circles. And just one of them happened to have...
Okay. This wasn't crop circles or anything like that.
Yeah, no, this is melted snow. There was a cow in the middle of one of them. And then, when they flew up to take aerial footage or whatever, they saw that there was a ton of these melt holes all over the fucking place.
Well, it's hard to explain that away. It's hard to explain how... It's hard to explain that away as not the government or aliens. Like, how... No footprints, no landing sites except out of weird melted snow circles that we don't know. Like,
and also, it doesn't reference to how tall the snow was, but you have to imagine that December in Minnesota is not going to be
snow.
Or like at least isn't going to be like fresh snowfall where maybe they went out there and then fresh snow kind of covered the area and kind of hid their footprints. Like you'd have to imagine to get out there they'd need like an all-terrain vehicle.
And I mean, even with that, regardless, like if there's no signs of people, like why would the melted spots not be snowed over? Like obviously, it couldn't have been snowed over.
Absolutely, that's super weird to me as well. Hard
to explain away.
It really is. So another thing that this chapter doesn't really cover is oftentimes when they find these cows, they have like broken bones, like broken femurs, broken spines, broken hips. And there's two theories to this. One of them is that they're being dropped from a great distance.
Oh, okay.
And then when they hit the ground, they break.
Okay.
The other one is hoisting equipment, like cranes or...
Oh, they don't... Whatever it is, they don't... Obviously, with what they do, they don't really care if it lives or not, so it just...
It just picks it up and smashes it in some way. So they don't really touch on that too much in here, but it is something that I have read about and seen that oftentimes these cows have broken bones, and cow bones are, like, pretty resilient. Like, breaking a cow's femur's got to be... like impossible for just like a single person to do.
Well, they're like really big bones.
Yeah,
that's where dinosaur bones came from.
From cows.
Cows, yeah.
Oh,
yeah. That's how the government tricked us that God wasn't real.
I'm gonna like make a thing that says like dinosaur bones come from cows. God's not real.
That's a real thing.
Rainbows
That's a real thing, though. Like that crazy Christian people who think the Earth's only 2,000 years old think.
That's for a different video altogether. Yep. So here's another one. A particularly interesting incident recalling the Kimball case from the Cochran County on March 10th. There, a mutilated heifer was found in the center of a perfectly round circle 30 feet in diameter. This is pretty big. Its head was twisted straight up in the air. The bottom of its jaw was cut back. The tongue was gone. Sex organs were cut out and missing, and the navel was cut out in a circle. The animal was drained of blood and its meat was untouched. Stranger still, a mutilated steer was found in the center of another 30-foot circle only a quarter of a mile away. A team of Reese AFB came out to the site to check for abnormal radioactivity, but found nothing. I know that's a lot to unpack. So we're finding dead cows in the middle of a 30-foot circle with its head twisted to face the air.
Oh,
Bottom
like
of its
the cow's probably on the side, but its head's twisted.
Yeah, twisted to look up.
Okay.
So there could be some grav shit, maybe.
Who knows?
And they removed the sex organs, and the belly button, and the tongue. What are they doing with this stuff?
It sounds like they're like making like hot dogs. Like they're taking like all the like what you make the hot dogs out of, the leftovers. Like they're taking like worthless parts.
Yeah, they have like just like bins of cow dicks.
No,
just up in their spacecraft.
It sounds silly that I'm saying it's like they're making hot dogs, but they are taking it.
The useless, not the
parts.
Yeah,
like,
but maybe they're worthless to us, but maybe not to.
It's a delicacy. Cow asshole.
Cow asshole. Cow navel.
To aliens.
One of the cow's ears only.
The left one. Is it just one ear? As in, it's the right and left ear every time?
I think,
or does it vary between the two?
That is information I don't have.
Okay.
I don't want to make any false accusations.
Well, obviously, you don't want to say if you don't know.
Yeah, I don't, and so, but it is only one ear and only one eye usually. A couple more. On July 6th, a mutilated pregnant cow was found next to a high-security NORAD entrance gate, and the sheriff's office determined that it was not caused by a predator. At least not an animal predator.
Okay.
So it was next to like a high security gate. So you would, I don't know. I know what that means. It just was interesting.
I mean, they have no answers to it, and it happened somewhere where you'd think somebody would see.
Yeah, well, the NORAD's an Air Force Academy.
Yeah. Oh, so it's some random helicopter probably didn't do it then.
Yeah.
What that alludes to.
Yeah, and you would think that if it were some kind of spacecraft that
they would
have picked it up or been aware of it.
Yeah.
Very strange. As in Texas, the people of New Mexico demanded justice, not just for the mutilations, but for the harassment of the Phantom helicopters. In the summer of 1975, the FAA announced it would investigate. Tom Adams tried to determine through the FOIA whether this in fact happened. Instead, the relevant FAA officers denied any knowledge of such investigation, even after he provided them with a newspaper account announcing the start of the probe. As to what they may have actually found, Adam concludes apparently they found reason to not announce their findings.
So to me, and what I believe it is that it's government testing would be what I believe is happening. Now, that doesn't mean that's what it is, and it's not like every sign, because whether it's government testing or aliens, I believe the government would act the same. I believe things would break down similarly, whether they were responding the way they were because it's something they're doing and it's secret, or if it's something aliens are doing and it's also secret. I don't know, just very interesting. The government obviously
have to be involved,
knows something,
or at least
knowledge being withheld. Absolutely,
and that's not a secret living in America, and of course other countries as well. But our government is renowned for hiding information from us, as is most governments. I mean, I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like the people worldwide, we're ready for disclosure. I feel like the government could come out and admit, yes, aliens have visited the planet. We know about them. Here's the information we have. And I think a lot of people would be freaked out. But I think for the most part, people have been like, yeah, that makes sense. I've seen UFOs before.
I can understand why they wouldn't, if that's the case.
Yeah, well, absolutely.
I can.
I feel like a lot of Christianity,
religion aside, even just the potential of mass panic and hysteria is very high. We think our world is very big, and in the grand scale of things, it is very small.
It's like infinitesimally small.
And I do think the human race as a whole could have a problem with solid knowledge and accepting if the government just said, hey, we've been being visited for the past 100 years plus.
Yeah. What's interesting is most of the UFO sightings started back just post us testing nuclear armaments.
Almost like it showed, like, hey, they've hit this level of technology, time to go.
Yeah.
See what they're doing.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, there's always been the sky people and stuff in ancient religions and stuff.
Gods, where gods come from, or when whoever saw the flaming chariot in the sky.
Yeah, exactly.
What's more likely, that a god was riding a flaming chariot or aliens? And I think aliens. Well, I also think a comet is the most likely. But, when it comes...
Absolutely, I agree with you.
What I've picked up is that ghosts and vampires are probably real, and that's what's probably doing all this.
They have ghost lasers.
Ghost laser. No,
they have ghost helicopters.
Yeah. Well, no, that's the witches.
That's Macy.
Yeah.
I don't trust her.
Me either. Part of the Men in Black.
Do you want to do the outro, or do you want me to do the outro?
What do we do?
You would first say, thanks for watching.
Okay.
And then you would say, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.
Okay.
And if you want to pick up some merch, check out the link in the description box below.
You're going too fast for him.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Ring that bell.
Oh. I always forget to talk about ringing the bell.
Smash that like button. Smash that follow button. Ring that bell. And check out the merch in the link down below.
Oh, yeah. There's a sponsor for this video, so we'll put a link to Cyma in the description box below where you can pick up one of your own cool drones.
Yes.
And if you guys want to see me do more videos like this where I bring people into the channel and talk to them about their theories and what they might think about these weird coincidences and weird events, then please leave a comment in the box below. I do read all comments and try to respond to them. And it means a lot. Perfect.
Hey guys, my bushy beard here. I just wanted to take a second to tell you about our sponsor, Cyma. Cyma makes badass drones that anyone can afford. They sent us this X26 in a pretty cool chrome color. This guy can do aerial maneuvers and has a flight time of 5 minutes. It's avoiding collisions. Cyma. It's easy to fly. Hours and hours of fun the whole family can enjoy.
All right, guys, that wasn't really me. That was my good friend Luke. He's got an awesome Pokemon-themed YouTube channel. I will put a link to his channel in the description box below.